So a couple of days after I told you that I would just get the t-shirt print framed at Michael's, I realized that it would be incredibly easy just to do it at home. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I have the frame that fits the graphic. I have fabric tape and sharp scissors, and then I also have fabric measuring tape, but I don't think I'm going to use it. Okay. So, oh, I need to go get, actually, no, I don't. So, undo the back of the frame. Take it off. Oh, and I would recommend a frame that has a mat in it. Otherwise, for the way I'm going to do it, you'll need to like cut your own mat. Or it's just like a stiff cardboard type insert to wrap the fabric around. So the frame is taken apart. Let me move this out of the way. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out the print. So I'm just like fitting the mat inside of the t-shirt because it doesn't have to be an exact cut, because you want overlapping, and then you can straighten it out with the overlapping. Okay, so the mat is in there. Okay, so basically for this print, it's basically just like the front of the shirt will fit everything. So I'm just going to cut along the seams and cut off the sleeves. You really want sharp scissors if you're going to cut fabric. Like I said, it doesn't have to be straight cuts because this is just wrapping around the mat or whatever you use to make your own mat. But you want to make sure there's overlap to make sure that you can make it look really straight in the frame. May not have enough overlap there. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut across. I'm avoiding any parts that are like stitched so that there's no part that's particularly thick when we wrap it around, so that it fits well in the depth of the frame. Okay, so I have this extra fabric and then the print side. So first thing is I'm gonna line the outside of the back of the mat. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to do the back of the mat instead of the front with fabric tape. So you're going to make the edge adhesive. Really shouldn't cut things with nice scissors that you care about, but I'm gonna cut sticky things with nice scissors that you care about. But I don't feel like getting shitty scissors out. So fabric tape is just double-sided tape that's supposed to be strong enough to hold textiles together. And this tape doesn't have to hold like forever, because you're just using it to keep the fabric in place as you put it in the frame. Once it's locked into the frame, it doesn't matter. It's not going to move anyway. So if there's some other adhesive you want to use to put your fabric down, you can, or you could just use tape, like regular tape, and like fold it over and then tape on top like regular tape. Then that should also work, because you're, like I said, you're just keeping it in place until it's in the frame, and then it doesn't matter. I'm just using fabric tape because I have it. Struggling to take just the non-adhesive part off. So it's gonna happen though. There it goes. Okay, so now the mat is lined. So this part might be tricky if you're doing it with double-sided tape, because you want to line it up looking at the front, but you don't want to lay the adhesive down on a surface you don't want it to stick to. I might be able to do this without flipping it over, because I don't know if you'll be able to see this. You can't, but I can see this print through the shirt, because, and it's a rectangle print, so the top is straight. So I might be able to do this without flipping it back over. So let's see, I'm eyeballing this to be in the middle. No, I'm not. I'm using the fabric tape. Wait, I'm supposed to use this light too. It may not make a difference. Maybe it does. Ooh. Okay. All right. So I think this is about where I want it to be. It's about 9 centimeters on one side, and a little less than 9 on the other. This part is boring. I mean, the whole thing is probably boring. Okay. Wait, I didn't move it at all. If the shirt is really wrinkly, you can iron it first. That's close. Or if it's not that wrinkly, but it's not like that smooth, you can just, you know, you're gonna stretch it over whatever you use to stick it to, so it doesn't have to be smooth because you're gonna stretch it. That's about equal. So I'm just trying to push this up, pull this down. All right, so I'm just gonna pull it down and see if it's straight. Nope, ruined everything. Okay. I haven't done this before, so this is trial and error for me. Just makes sense that this should work in my head. Alright, so I have it attached at the top. So without getting it too stuck to the surface, this looks about right to me. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So the top is attached, but I am going to stretch everything. So I'm going to start with stretching the bottom so that it's stretched from top to bottom, and then I'll worry about the sides. This looks, it's pretty even from top to bottom. Not perfect, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to stretch from side to side. I may or may not cut off this excess at the corners. I'll see how it looks when it's in the frame. See whether or not it looks whack or like it's not a even surface. I will say I think this would be easier with double-sided tape, like fabric tape or regular double-sided tape, than it would be with just using like tape on top of the fabric instead of behind it. Anyway, this looks very good to me. This looks really good to me. So I'm gonna put it back in the frame. So bringing the frame back, I'm gonna use the inside of the excess fabric to wipe the frame down to hopefully catch lint and that kind of thing. Microfiber would be good for this. So rubbing that down, flipping this over, and then fitting it into the frame and folding the fabric over. I'm thinking that I won't need to cut anything. I think it'll still fit pretty well. Then I say that, and then it's not fitting in. Maybe I do need to cut the fabric. I don't want to cut the fabric because I'm lazy. There we go. Force it in there. As long as the little brackets can fit into the slots, you don't need to cut the excess fabric in the back. So if I start pushing it down, it should make it easier to continue pushing it down all the way around. There we go. So yeah, so it's a tight fit, which as long as it's not like really straining the frame, that's fine. But the top is, there we go. I am actually kind of breaking this top to push it in. I guess I really didn't want to cut the fabric. Yeah, so maybe cut the fabric if you're gonna do this. All right, just make sure nothing got like completely fucked up. But yeah, so there's the Fame print, and it took 15 minutes. So yeah, definitely don't pay anybody to do this. That was bad advice on my part. And yeah, 15 minutes. So now I'm gonna hang it up. Okay, apparently the other nail's on a stud. Yep. Okay, now I'm gonna hang it up. Oops. But